Good morning, Cik Rafizi.
Morning.
How are you today?
Grumpy as always.
It's a bit early in the morning.
Yeah,
It's okay. So let's get straight to it. It goes without saying that one of the underlying factors for Pakatan Harapan's victory is, your relentless effort as well as your team to expose scandals that plagued the previous government. As a repercussion of that, you've been remanded, you've been held in lockup, and you possibly face a 30-month jail sentence. What was that like for you, and are you afraid of what's to come?
No, I think I signed up for the job. People kept asking the question, why did you do certain things? What motivated you to do certain things beyond, I suppose, what expected? I don't know about other people, but when I sign up for a particular job, I wanted to do a good job at it. It's about me. It's not so much about trying to please people or trying to be a hero, trying to get attention. I signed up to be an MP, and that was my understanding about what the duties and roles of MP. And it's a mystery. I liked it. Otherwise, life as an MP is actually quite dull. To me, it's a job. I wanted to do a good job. I gave my best. The consequences, I signed up for it. And it was always a choice between do I lie or do I tell the truth? There's always a first time for everything. There's always a first time for going to lock up, You have your fear initially, after that you conquer it. After that you thought it wasn't that bad after all, So, yeah.
Okay, you've mentioned in another interview that you no longer have interest in government service, minus your position as PKR Vice President. What will you be focusing more on instead?
I made a promise to myself and to my wife and to my child that at least, I have this 1 or 2 year gap. I wanted to have time with my family. I wanted to build some career, and also I have to earn money, a living for myself. The best combination to achieve all that is to basically not join government service. I've mentioned specifically to Datuk Sri Anwar, to Kak Wan, as early as 2-3 years back that even if Pakatan win this election, I had no interest to join it. I wanted to regain some of the normalcy in my life. I'm back to doing what I like best, which is I have a firm that I run. There's about 80 staff who used to work for me in the campaign. I have more time with my family, and I have more time to do interviews like this. Otherwise, I don't have time for this.
Score! Yeah. Okay, Cik Rafizi, you were a hard critic for the previous government, and you still are a hard critic for the current government. It seems like you're quite a hard man to please. So why is this so?
No, I think I have never been a fan of a one-sided government or anything for that matter. There's always two sides of a story to anything. My belief since I was your age, very young, 20 years back, was that the best thing for society is the ability to balance it out, to be able to see different perspective of the same issue. And for that to happen, we must encourage people to speak up. Sometimes there are things which we don't like to hear, but there's some truth to it. In the long run, if you don't actually point out some of the most basic principles from the very beginning, if you allow, just because you want to be politically correct, if you allow some of what I feel, key points, key principles that you must adhere to be trampled, some points here and there, it actually will corrupt Pakatan Harapan. The reason BN became BN was because people just basically swallow everything for fear of how it would affect their position. And then if we lose that discipline as a government, it's quite dangerous. It will make us out of touch with the public. So having a constant view pointing out, especially internally from among us, I think is a healthy thing.
In relation to that, Cik Rafizi, what do you think people misunderstand the most about Pakatan Harapan as the federal government right now?
I think everyone is confused about what to expect. There's some very clear partisan line in terms of the for and against Pakatan Harapan, those who support Pakatan Harapan because of the reform, because of the changes, because of actions taken against Datuk Seri Najib. That's drawn along partisan line. Those who hammer Pakatan because of allegedly erosion of Malay rights, becoming less Muslims. Those again were drawn along Pakistan's line. But I think by and large, the general public actually still adopt a wait and see attitude. I hope they constantly remember that they are being watched every second. So I hope you are as confused as I am after that very long questions, because I myself don't actually know what to expect.